education expert and author of A Guide to Private Schools, the District, Northern Virginia, and Maryland edition. And welcome.
Thank you.
The difference is in the edition. What's the biggest difference?
Well, you know, I think parents need to cast a wide net, and they can look at areas surrounding the D.C. area. Sometimes parents just want to stick with Virginia schools, but really the commute, if you live pretty close to the Beltway, isn't too bad. And it's worth it if you can find the right match for your child.
In finding a match, sometimes it's like an arranged marriage. We do go to our immediate circle. Is that the best way to start, with our friends, seeing what their children are doing, where they're sending their children, as a guide to what we might be looking for?
It's a fine way to start, but really I encourage parents to cast a wide net, because sometimes they really primarily consider those brand name, big name schools like Sidwell Friends, St. Albans, Potomac School, when there may be lesser known schools that are actually a better match for their child. So certainly start out with your friends, but consider other options too.
This can be a long list once you start with your friends and then start casting that wide net. What are some of the determining factors to help you narrow it down?
You know, as parents, we need to sit back and do some soul searching. Think about what's best for our child. Things like, do you want a co-ed school or a single-sex school? I actually think you're doing a disservice to your child if you don't at least consider an all-boys or an all-girls school. Do you want a K-8 school, a school that primarily educates younger students, or do you want a K-12 school that can work with your child all the way through high school? What kind of religious affiliation, or none at all, are you interested in? So consider those factors as you narrow down schools.
You're talking about what the parent should consider, what the parent should consider. What about our child? How much should we involve them in? What are you after?
Depends on the age of the child. Certainly, if you have a child applying to 9th grade, you absolutely have to consider their feelings. When you have a younger student, though, you're going to make more of the decision. It's interesting, when I was writing the book, parents really care about academics. They consider a school solely on that criteria.
Really?
Kids, they are all about friends. Will they meet kids that are like them at the school? Who will they sit with at lunch? Will they fit in? Those types of things are important to kids.
You know, that doesn't change when they get to college. There was one that said, I like the cafeteria at Duke, that's why I'm going to Duke rather than Vanderbilt, or something like that. Any other factors to help narrow it down so that it is a perfect match and can be a long-time marriage?
Sure. You know, really consider your child's strengths. For example, I have a family moving here from out of town. We created a list of about 5 schools. They visited all the schools, and the older daughter said, I really love Georgetown Day because of their fine arts program. She's an incredibly talented artist, and that was the draw, and this is her strength, and she knows that this is going to propel her to possibly a career in this area. And get her into a great college too. So think of the strengths of your child, you know, what they really bring to the table, and don't solely focus on academics.
And Dolin, thank you very much for being with us. Good advice as parents start to prepare for next year. It's not too early.
Thank you.